Hello my Foonatics, it's Fufu here, and today I am going to be bringing you my second episode of Foo Fact File, the series in which I discuss interesting and alternative game mechanics and seeing if they could potentially be used in a competitive way as a gimmick or something like that. Today may well be the first ever episode of Pokemon Crits because I'm going to enlist the help of Beyonce to show you round a number of rooms that are available in the Pokemon world, and by that I mean the moves Trick Room, Wonder Room and Magic Room. These room moves were introduced in generations 4 and 5, and initially they all had the lowest priority of any move in the game at -7 priority, so even phasing moves like Roar and Dragon Tail would stop these moves. You would get roared out and then you didn't actually get a chance to attack, which seems really unfair. In Generation 6, this isn't the case for Magic Room and Wonder Room. They both are just normal moves now at 0 priority, whereas Trick Room is still a -7 priority move. In my head that slightly makes sense because Trick Room, it works on affecting move order, turn order, and that is determined before any Pokemon have made a move, so it's not going to have any effect on the turn that it's used, and so it doesn't really matter where it comes. Whereas Magic Room and Wonder Room can have effects on the turn they're used. They affect items and defenses, and so if you manage to get it off before the opponent gets a chance to attack, you can actually affect what they do in that turn, which is pretty cool. Now the first room that Beyonce is going to take us to is the weird and wonderful Wonder Room. This room swaps the Pokemon's defense and special defense while in the room. Really strange. And in terms of competitive, I don't see it having too much use. What you will do is throw the opponent off, because let's face it, who the fuck sees this coming? Like, Wonder Room, really? But what it does do is it gives you a bit more control over your walls, because, for example, if the matchup isn't great, if you want your defensive Pokemon to be specially defensive just because of the typing advantage it has, you can do that with the use of Wonder Room. The only issue being that it takes a turn to set up, so you lose momentum, and it only lasts for 4 turns anyway, so it's not a permanent effect. So it's very limited use in my opinion, but if you do have any experience using Wonder Room, I would be very interested to hear, so let me know in the comment section below. The next room that Beyonce is going to introduce us to is the amazing, the magnificent Magic Room. This room stops the use of held items, and I quite like it. I like how the decorations work here. Basically, things like lefties won't give you recovery, focus sash won't work, you can't use things like citrus berry, and also the effects of choice items don't work either, and that's pretty interesting. So you can be locked into Psychic, going for Psychic, Psychic, Psychic. Magic Room happens, then you can swap up your moves. You can go for Thunderbolt, you can go for Energy Ball, you can go for Energy Ball again, you can go for Thunderbolt, you can swap up. But then, when Magic Room ends, you are locked into the move that you're going to before Magic Room, so you're going for Psychic again. You don't get any choice in the matter, it doesn't let you re-choose what you lock yourself into. And I think this could be pretty fascinating. You could use it as the ultimate bluff on a choice mon by giving it Magic Room as a move to use. So you go for Magic Room the first turn, which would lock you in, but then obviously you're in Magic Room, so you can use whatever moves you want to use. And then at the end of that period, you'll just have to go for Magic Room again because you're locked into that move. What that could do is be the ultimate bluff. You use it early in a battle, your opponent doesn't think that you're locked in at all, has no idea what your item is, and then in late game you will reveal that you're actually Scarf or you're actually Specs and completely screw over your opponent. That would be pretty cool, but I mean it's pretty weird and gimmicky and not necessarily very useful. How it might work better would be if you've been choiced all the way through the battle, then late game you are able to clean up, but you need to be able to use your coverage. You can then go for Magic Room, your opponent won't see it coming, and you might be able to clean up that way. It's very situational, very gimmicky, but I think it's pretty cool, and I might have to try it out myself. If any of you guys have tried that kind of a thing, I'd love to hear about it, because it sounds pretty fun. Interestingly, Magic Room also stops the use of moves like Fling and Nature Power that rely on the Pokemon's held item. However, if you go for Pluck or Bug Bite and the opponent is holding a berry, then you will still eat that berry. So there you go, one way to get around not being able to use items in Magic Room is eating your opponents. So the final room that Beyonce is going to show off today is Trick Room. This room is very popular and most people know a lot about it already, so I'm not going to speak too much on it. What it does is it reverses the speed order of the turn, but priority brackets remain the same. So by that I mean slowest Pokemon go first and fastest Pokemon go last, unless they're using priority moves, which will still always go first. The one thing I am going to mention about Trick Room is, in Gen 5 there used to be a glitch with it. I'm not sure if it's still there in Generation 6, I'm guessing it's not. But, if a Pokemon goes super fast, and I mean like Sonic speed fast, so it has to go at 1809 speed, which is ridiculous, then it just completely ignores the effects of Trick Room. There are very few Pokemon that are able to get to this speed. But the take-home message from this video, from everything that you listened to today, is if you're really struggling with Trick Room, just bring an Agility Speed Boost Ninjask, and you'll be fine! It's a 100% counter, I promise you. Alright, so that's enough for today. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this Foo Fact file, or at least were informed about something. I've been Foo, you've been awesome, and hopefully see you next time. Bye!